a free hat night, and they didn't like them, so they were just throwing them over. You have to ask them.
We'll go next to Mike McIntyre from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Mike.
Andrew, I know you guys certainly don't doubt Connor Hellebuyck one bit, but what did seeing the performance from him tonight, 38-6, what do you think it means to him, and what does it mean to the team?
Yeah, it seems like, whenever he's not the best goalie in the world, for a few games, it takes just one performance like that for him to get right back there. So, yeah, I mean, he was huge for us. He's going to be huge for us. We have all the confidence in the world for him, and yeah, I feel like usually one of those performances kind of kickstart a little bit of a run for him. So we're looking forward to seeing how he can take that and roll with it for the next few games.
Sean Reynolds from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Sean.
Hey guys, question for both of you. Andrew, you're always playing with new line mates, and tonight, Kyle, you played with two line mates you haven't played with that much. Both of you seem to have success when you get put into that situation. I'm wondering if there's something behind that. Maybe I know there was a lot of line juggling last year. Why do you think you guys are able to succeed when you're put into new situations like that?
Yeah, I think, speaking for myself, I don't think my game tends to change too much. You bring what you bring to the table, play the best you can, and, systematically we're all running the same system. So there's no reason why we shouldn't have success. You put three good players out there, and, the chemistry comes a little bit over time. So it definitely takes, knowing the guys are in the right spots. And, as the game wears on, you start to learn certain tendencies. And, especially with that too, it's a lot of communication, especially in the D zone. Just talk it out, and there should be no issue.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of I think we've played four games now. I've had 3 different line combinations, so that's just kind of how it usually goes for me. Back to center tonight felt pretty good, but having a lot of reliability with Stas there too to come in and play center and take draws when needed. So, yeah, I think we were comfortable with each other last year, the 3 of us, and played a good stretch of hockey. So just trying to pick up where we left off.
Back to Paul Friesen from The Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
If you guys don't mind handling a two-parter, number one, I'm wondering if how much of a relief it is to get the first win 4 games in, and you guys are both scoring at a pretty good clip. What does the puck feel like on your sticks right now?
Yeah, I mean, the first one feels great. It's always tough, especially you lose a couple, get a little pressure. Coming back home, always from a road trip, tendency to come out pretty slow the first period. So it feels great. There's a full team effort. Helly played great back there, and special teams, you only got one power play. I thought we moved the puck pretty well, and and to be honest, I forgot your second question. So
how does the puck feel?
The puck feel, yeah. It's good to get. It feels good. Good to get a little confidence going, especially early in the season. And it always starts for me is moving my feet. Just think like a shooter. I know Paul says it a lot, but it's pretty true. You get that puck to the net, and more times than not, we'll get first touch as well.
Yeah, I mean, same. I think, getting the first one feels like kind of like Bucky, where we can kind of ride that momentum a little bit, especially when we're at home. Try and take advantage of that, get back in the Central Division, and then, just always feel I'm usually kind of a pass first guy, but been on the receiving end of a few good plays, and just a lot of confidence in my game right now.
Good.
Andrew Copp obviously was one of the guys up there. He's one of the 2 Jet forwards over 20 minutes of ice time tonight, and he really caught your eye tonight.
Yeah, he did, and it's not a surprise considering all the different things that he can do for you. He can plug so many different holes, and on the penalty kill, which was an area where you really build so much of your game from. He taps in a little backhand, goes to the right, or a backhand pass, backdoor pass from Schmidt. He just knows where to be at the right time. So on the 5-on-5 play, or whether it's power play or penalty kill, he just thinks the game so well. So he's not necessarily the fastest player, but he thinks faster than most, and you can see examples of it on the penalty kill here. Look at the way he cuts the ice in half. He shrinks the ice, gets a stick on this puck, and because of him, they're able to get that puck cleared and 200 feet. They were wounded a little bit on the penalty kill, and if you can't kill penalties, you're not going to be successful as a team. And just, again, all the little things that he does to make players around him better. I felt like that was that put some wind in their sail on the penalty kill. I noticed him leading the way, and quite frankly, I think a lot of guys just read off of him. He goes, we go. And the idea of a good penalty kill is all 4 guys, they go from box to diamond, they read and react off of each other, and they get in shot lanes. But somebody has to kind of be the alpha out there, and for me, he's that guy. So he stood out maybe more for me on the penalty kill, the defensive side of the game, which they really needed to kind of remedy a little bit, and then adding another goal is just icing on the cake for me.
Goals in 3 straight for Andrew Copp, who just continues to just find those extra levels, and he talks so much about working on his game at both ends of the ice, but finding that finishing touch, especially this early in the season for a guy that had a career year last year, is a really good sign. Back to the Mac Frost Media Center.
And we'll get going with Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
Thanks, Gregor. For Connor Hellebuyck, please. Connor, you seem to get a bit of a fist pump going on your way off the ice. What does it mean to get that first win of the year under your belt for the team?
Oh, it's great. It gets us going in the right direction, and it shows what we need to do to win games in this league. Great performance from everyone tonight, and we need to continue to build on it.
We'll go back to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
For Pierre-Luc, what do you think made your line so successful tonight? Obviously, a lot of talk going into the game about guys needing to step up.
Obviously, when you go 2 guys down, 2 important players like Scheifele and Wheels, it's an opportunity for others. I thought we did some good things, but I think we can improve on it. We could play a full 60 minutes. Our line, or whatever line it is going forward, I think we can sustain 60 minutes of being dangerous offensively, being good defensively, winning battles and everything. But whenever you get a win after 3 losses, it feels good, and now we just want to build from that.
That's it. See you guys.
All right. Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Lots of talk from both of them just about guys needing to step up. But it was Connor Hellebuyck that I was actually going to go to next. So interesting that he was able to come on and to talk post game. 38 saves for a guy that he expects the most out of himself, and a lot was made going into the season opener where he was going up against John Gibson, the Olympics, all that kind of stuff. He was really solid tonight, and a big reason, especially in that second period, the Jets came out of there with a lead.
You know what's really a huge advantage is you've got a guy now that's been through some ups and downs. He's developed in so many different ways. He's played in big games, Western Conference Final, a Vezina Trophy winner. And so when things don't go your way, first of all, you have the belief of the guys in front of you, but he doesn't lose belief in himself. So it's easy to kind of, 14 goals against on 97 shots through 3 games. That's not great. But you look at some of the goals that have beat him. He hasn't been beaten clean very often. He's made some saves that perhaps he shouldn't have made. And that self-belief that he has is contagious. So they say there's no panic in the room, and I believe that. I think a lot of the reason is because their goaltender is just calm, confident, day by day, and he knows the process. He knows what it takes for him to be good. And trust me, in a locker room, when you have a goalie that doesn't believe in himself, or your team thinks he doesn't, it changes everything. But the reverse is true as well. They've got a goaltender that isn't arrogant, but he's confident. He knows who he is, and they really do build from the cliche from the goaltender out. He certainly did have a big bounce back night tonight with 38 saves, and a couple magnificent ones where at ice level I'm just shaking my head going, how? Yeah. I said to Dennis on the air, 6'4", he used every inch to make a couple of those saves.
Real nice toe save. I know exactly which one you're talking about. The other thing that Kyle Connor mentioned, you get that first win, it helps take some weight off the shoulders. I imagine the power play probably got a little bit of the weight off the shoulders in Minnesota. They're able to get another one tonight, and Josh Morrissey seems to be right at home in that right circle.
He can rip the puck, and we're going to see that. Fans are going to enjoy seeing that as the season continues on. We've seen him and he wasn't always in a shooting position last year. He'd be more at the top, and he'd shoot pucks through, sometimes floaters even. But now he's the one-timer situation, and Josh can rip the thing. And that was a nice shot. But in practice, we've seen shots that have just been tucked bar down. And what I liked about this shot here, Mitch, is normally you're fading away onto the flank, but he recognizes that everybody's overloaded on the puck side. Josh comes to the middle of the ice. Look where his feet are here. He's inside the dots. He's in the slot, but that's a flank shot. So really good awareness. That's a new position for him relatively. But he steps into that when he goes a little bit cross-grain and he gets all of it. And good for him. He could have had more goals, but it's nice to see him now rewarded in back-to-back games.
Absolutely. Head coach Paul Maurice now in the media room.
Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
Thanks, Gregor. Evening, Paul. Given what your group went through today, how would you describe what you saw on the ice this evening, and what does it mean to get that first victory under your belts?
Important to get a win. Thought we had played hard and well enough to win the last game that we played, but then I thought we would end up building as that game went on. Concern coming off the West Coast, and then on the road you come back, and our third was our best period in terms of our pace of our game anyway. Really liked the fact that Connor, I don't want to see him to see that many pucks every night, but he was sharp and on it. His rebound control was really good tonight. That after, we gave up another shorty. I liked where our kill went. That we shot pucks on our power play. So that was all right.
Back to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
What did you see from the Dubois line, and what was the inspiration in putting them together tonight, Paul?
I liked Pierre-Luc's game. I thought he had some smart plays, some good support plays. He looks like he's got lots of confidence when the puck is timing starting to come. In terms of that center ice position, you have to be able to speed your game up and slow it down. And knowing when to do that. I didn't think he got above a lot of pucks that he didn't need to, and it was pretty responsible. I didn't think. I think they can be better. I mean, as a line, I think there's more there.
I'll go next to Sean Reynolds from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, Paul, just wondering over the last couple of games, with some of the success you've had offensively and different line mates playing with each other, or did you learn anything about this team or see any new combinations that you've liked that may kind of change the way you structure things going forward?
I liked what Toninato brought, his versatility to play all 3-4 positions. I moved him to the right by the end of the game. After Svechnikov blocked that shot, he looked really comfortable in what he was doing. I thought coming off the bench too, the players weren't phased by, there's a lot of different combinations and a lot of different positional play where a guy has to take a shift on left and then come over and take one on the right, and that didn't seem to be an issue for us in a lot of areas. So that's good. They'll get used to it, and there can be a benefit down the road because you end up with injuries and what we're going through right now. They'll get comfortable with that idea of not being shook up by a line change.
I'll go next to Carter Brooks from Game On. Go ahead, Carter.
So, is there a moment at all tonight where you might have just found yourself sitting back and enjoying the atmosphere as following the past couple of years of what these fans have been through to have people back in the building watching the regular season game?
I enjoyed the national anthem. I thought that was outstanding. That was my favorite part of the crowd tonight. I love it when they sing the national anthem. And then the just general feeling of being at home, right? We haven't had that. It's been so long since that you're a part of that, right? You're with the fans in those and the excitement of the game, and just hearing crowd cheer when you score a goal. It's just a real nice thing to have happen. So we enjoyed it.
Go back to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
Paul, the Copp line has had success as a whole last year at certain times. Just on the strategy side, why Copp at center instead of Stastny? Obviously, I know Andrew at center, but in this situation, why'd you go that route?
I think Andrew does a real good job with some of the heavy lifting down low. He's a real, very, very strong man. And I think he can move the puck both sides. I think Paul can too. The center iceman will get more involved in the game, especially in our end. My concern coming in was you missed those two guys up front, and you're coming off the road, that we were going to spend some D-zone coverage time. It wasn't an issue until we got into the second. I thought we were slow there in the second half of that period. And I ran those guys pretty hard. I think Andrew's had about 15 minutes through 2 periods, but he can physically handle that. They get stuck out on the penalty kill for the 2 minutes, but he's got real good recovery.
Next to Murat Atesh from The Athletic. Go ahead, Murat.
Paul, can't help but ask what you made of all those hats flying down your way and onto the ice after Connor's.
Wasn't sure. Checked the card, make sure I hadn't missed something. But we appreciate the enthusiasm.
McIntyre from the Free Press. Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks. Paul, no, it doesn't show on the key moment. Seemed to be that penalty kill where it got stuck out there for pretty much the full 2 minutes. And Nate Bolio, I don't know how many shots.
Yeah, you know, and we're learning this too. I mean, we haven't been an 11 and 17 before, so it's a challenge for Charlie Huddy to kind of keep guys into the game and then find the right moments to put them in. And then Bogut, he played I know I didn't have a lot of minutes in tonight's game, but he had a big impact, and that shot block and some of his physicality and the enthusiasm. That's really a credit to that man's character, because no one likes to be the 7th guy, and it's not easy to come out. But the one thing about Bo, and it's why his teammates love him, the situation doesn't matter, and he's going to block every shot. I mean, he broke 3 bones 1 year doing it, and it never stopped. On the first day back after his injury, he was doing it again. So there's a real value to what he brings to the team, and we was trying to find ways to get him more involved and get him out in the ice a little bit more, but he had an impact on our win tonight. Okay, thank you.
All right, that's head coach Paul Maurice. And final thought from you. We talked a lot about the on-ice stuff, but you were between the benches tonight. You got to be in the bowl, feeling having fans back in there. How was your evening?
It was the best.
Yeah.
I mean, so little to any of this. You think about what the players, the coaches, and the entire league, the world for that matter, have had to go through. Mm-hmm. But to have to sacrifice the energy and the atmosphere that means so much to the game of hockey, to be down at ice level and to hear the players talking, to hear the fans, you can feel the fans cheering. It was excellent. And on top of that, you look at some adversity here with Blake Wheeler, Mark Scheifele. You feel for them. You hope they're safe, and all reports are that they are. But missing the home opener isn't easy, and that's not easy for the team to have to adjust to on the game day, just finding out about Mark Scheifele. But using the energy of the crowd, they had a huge part of this win tonight, and there's been some adversity. You feel good for the Jets for a lot of different reasons. The win for sure, but a successful home opener, and finally feeling good about some hard work.
And we get to do it all over again on Saturday with the Nashville Predators in town. Thanks for joining us on the JetsTV Live Postgame Show presented by Budweiser. For Kevin Sawyer, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Mitchell Clinton, and for everybody behind the scenes, we'll see you on Saturday.